Welcome to Nordic Market News. It's Friday, August the 25th. This program is being recorded in the news agency Direkt studio in Stockholm. It has been rather a calm week following last week's geopolitical worries regarding nuclear tension, the U.S. presidency, and the terrorist attacks, and also ahead of today's statements by Mario Draghi and Janet Yellen. This week, numerous smaller companies reported Q2 income statements in Stockholm, and over in Oslo, seafood providers Bakkefrost, Leroy Seafood, Marine Harvest, and Salmar all reported with varied market reactions. The Nordic index OMXN40 gained traction this week, up 1.5% since Monday. Over in Oslo, the OBX was up 0.9% week to date, but started today's trading in the red. Helsinki, Copenhagen, and Stockholm all showed a moderate increase. In company news, Novozymes climbed almost 8% this week following upgrades by several analysts, including SEB, which raised from sell to hold. Maersk took a jump after selling off Maersk Oil to French energy giant Total. And after doubling the current share repurchase program to 1 billion Danish kroner and postponing the deadline for the repurchase, Jyske Bank's share price moved slightly higher. Norwegian oil company DNO soared 24% week to date, increasing its ownership in the Kurdish license of Tawke. In Norwegian seafood, Bakkefrost showed growth and repeated its full-year guidance as the share recovered from its initial unrest. Leroy Seafood's share dropped after reporting turnover and earnings below market expectations. Following a cut in its 2017 harvest guidance from 377,000 metric tons from 403,000 tons, citing biological issues in Norway, the Marine Harvest share is recovering this week. Salmar outperformed expectations and repeated harvest guidance, but the share was unchanged in early trading today. In Sweden, industrial companies Atlas Copco and Sandvik climbed sharply after meeting with analysts. Mats Ramström from Handelsbanken debuted with a stable, calm, and trustworthy impression of Atlas Copco, while Nordea got a positive impression after listening to Bjorn Rosengren from Sandvik. Fingerprint cards advanced regardless of a high-profile trader being prosecuted for having manipulated the share prices. Elekta earnings were hampered by efforts regarding the upcoming product Unity, which is largely responsible for future share prices. Their report was in line with market expectations, however, which pushed the share price up 5% week to date. In other market news, the Swedish welfare sector was under pressure from the perception that the government is approaching an agreement to limit its profits. In a macroeconomic perspective, the dollar was pushed both up and down this week based on expectations of U.S. tax reform and fear of President Donald Trump having to face a governmental shutdown. The Euro PMI came in a little stronger than expected, but there was more of a mixed message for the PMI for the United States. As mentioned earlier, now all eyes are on Fed Chief Janet Yellen and ECB head Mario Draghi. Each will be issuing statements later today at the central bank's convention in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. There is some hope for short-term guidance on monetary policy, although Yellen is supposed to address financial stability, and ECB sources try to downplay expectations for further clues. Thank you for watching this week's program, and be sure to tune in next week for more Nordic Market News. Enjoy your weekend.